death penalty isn't justified and needs to be abolished. The death penalty has been traced back to the times of ancient Mesopotamia and the Code of Hammurabi. It has been used throughout history by the Egyptians, the Romans, and the British colonizations in America. Early methods of execution included boiling, electrocution, crucifixion, disembowelment, and stoning. The U.S. today has 5 methods of execution, which are lethal injections, electrocution, gas chamber, firing squad, and hanging. And there have been a total of 15,746 executions in the United States. Oklahoma was the first state to adopt lethal injections. Lethal injections contain barbiturate, paralytic, and potassium solution.
Mental illness is treated in a unique manner in the United States justice system. The death penalty cannot be implemented on the mentally ill until sanity is restored through psychiatric correctional institutions. While some may say that criminals may fake their mental illness, years of studies have been conducted to separate the ill from the fakers. The Eighth Amendment declares that cruel and unusual punishment is not justifiable in the United States. In the 2002 case of Atkins versus Virginia, Darrell Atkins was diagnosed with mental illness. The Supreme Court states that the mentally ill do not have the same moral accountability that a sane person does. However, in other cases, states have forced their inmates to take drugs to make them sane enough to be executed. This is going against the doctor's oath to promote health and is also unethical. Numerous inmates who went onto death row being sane have developed death row syndrome, a psychological illness that occurs due to solitary confinement and little human interaction. This is inhumane and a form of torture. How can the U.S. Supreme Court and the government think that it is fine to do this to a mentally ill person? It is unjustifiable and needs to be eradicated for the sake of the mentally ill criminals.
The U.S. is currently in economic crisis and facing deep financial problems. Wasting millions of taxpayer dollars on the death penalty is only making it worse. Studies, such as the one at Seattle University, showed that death penalty cases cost significantly more than comparable cases that aren't on trial for the death penalty. In Washington, death penalty cases cost on average $3 million, while comparable non-death penalty cases with the same crime cost on average about $2 million. Death penalty cases cost significantly more due to the lengthy trials. They must pay for judges, attorneys, prosecutors, and other court fees. Studies have shown that costs for picking juries for death penalty cases is significantly more than non-comparable cases, such as it costs $200,000 to pick a jury for a death penalty case, which is 8 times more than a non-death penalty case. The West Texas Regional Public Defender's Office showed a study that it costs significantly more to for a death penalty case than to house someone in prison for their whole life, including food, shelter, and other necessities. It costs $693,000 to keep someone in prison for life, while it costs an average of $1.2 million for one death penalty case. The money that goes towards death penalty cases could go towards other programs to improve America's culture, such as learning in schools and infrastructure, which would be a lot more useful to America.
The death penalty is a cruel and archaic method used to punish our citizens. The death penalty has not only been the reason why valuable lives have been taken away, but it's also put a strain on our taxpayers as well as our economy. More importantly, the death penalty goes against the Constitution when it comes to the Eighth Amendment. We've always been a nation of laws. Yet when it comes to protecting the lives of our citizens, we tend to fall short again and again. Never looking back on our past sins, but constantly looking forward for our next victim. We as Americans have done a grave injustice. We have become unlawful and uncivilized, claiming that we are doing the right thing, but murdering people and stealing money to do so is wrong and unjust. The death penalty doesn't solve the problem, but adds to it. The death penalty has taken more from us than it has granted. We the people are civilized, not a group of barbarians who kill each other to avenge someone else. We the people must put an end to this cruelty. We the people must put this method to death once and for all. For the sake of our country, abolish the death penalty.